When you came into the league, the Warriors were dominating the NBA in the midst of a 5-year finals run, and not that long a time, the Lakers have kind of reached the top of the mountain. You guys are the defending champs. You have the best record in the league. What's it been like to kind of experience that power shift, and what's the experience of being on the team that is clearly has the biggest target on its back?
Yeah, I've been here, the longest, especially in this division. So, just seeing the Warriors go from, like you said, multiple final appearances to, just unfortunate injuries and kind of depleting them a little bit. It's just a cycle of life in the NBA from a team's perspective. It's very hard to be a San Antonio Spur and go to the playoffs 20 plus years. And like I said, they had unfortunate injuries, and even this year too. But they're still the Warriors in a sense. They play Warriors basketball. Anytime Steph's out there, the greatest shooter ever. So, they're still a formidable team.
Kyle?
Hey Kyle, sort of related to that, so many of the key players on this team are under contract for the next couple of years, including yourself. I know every year has its own goals, and I'm sure you guys want to win a championship this year, but do you find any of your goals or any of sort of your vision kind of reaching out beyond and creating that dynasty that similar to what the Warriors had?
Yeah, for sure. I think, obviously, we play basketball to win championships. We got one, and we saw how hard it was to get that one championship. But we're in uncharted. Some of us are in uncharted territory. Obviously, you got LeBron that's been a part of dynasties, and for us, trying to get to that plateau and peak to continue to win championships is a tough, lofty goal. But I think that's what we kind of all put out to do. Seeing guys sign contracts to be a part of a championship window, and just try to make it happen, because we have such a small time in the NBA, and even smaller of a window to when you're talking about dynasties, to make it really happen. So got to get there first. That starts with trying to win championship number 2. But we can slowly try to get there if we continue to focus on what we need to focus on.
Melissa?
Hey Kyle, how much has LeBron James' outspokenness on social justice encouraged you personally and encouraged other guys around the league to speak up regardless of whatever the potential fallout may be?
Yeah, I mean, you're always gonna have fallout. Anytime you speak out and use your own opinion, it's always gonna be a fallout. Just from the simple fact that in the world that we live in now, even prior, everyone has their own opinion, and everyone's entitled to it. But this day and age with social media, everyone has an opinion, and you see it. So you may say something whatever you believe in, and there's always going to be backlash because people don't agree with. There'll be people that agree with you and some that don't. And I think when you're talking about social justice and you're talking about whatever you may be talking about, it's just up to you to believe in what you think, and build that awareness. So.
Last question, Jordan Richard.
Hey, Kuz, you've had a double-double in 2 out of the last 3 games. Has being active on the glass been one of your, main focuses? And you've also shot over 50% in 2 out of the last 3 games from 3. Just talk about like your rhythm getting back and just your focus with rebounding and, having high rebound totals in the last 3 games.
Yeah, I've been really focused on, just real focused this season on, just doing what I got to do to, impact the game for this team. And, for me, just playing with energy and, just trying to create extra possessions for this team and, really just trying to, win ball games. I think that's the most important thing. With me being playing more on the wing now, playing the 2, playing the 3, not too many guards or wings or.
Hey Frank, can you just speak about the power dynamic between the Lakers and the Warriors? The Warriors had that 5-year run making the finals. They seem to be the toast of the league, and the Lakers kind of had a downturn, and now you guys are coming off the championship and have the best record in the league.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of how this league works, right? There's times where a team is clearly on top of the league, like Golden State was for those 5 years. But those dynasties don't always last forever, and at some point, whether it's injuries or trades or free agent like KD leaving or somebody like that, the balance of power shifts. And last year we felt like the West was wide open because of the injuries and KD leaving, and really the whole league was wide open because of all that. And we were able to capitalize on that and win the championship. And obviously we've retooled and come back with a strong team again. But it's just part of what this league is about. There's always a balance of power shift at certain points.
Okay, we're gonna go with Kyle Goon next, please.
Hey Frank, you talked about how you like a certain element of randomness in the offense, and based on the stats that we have available to us, it looks like you guys don't lean too heavily in any one sort of frequency of play type. How much of that is sort of coaches consciously being like, hey, we've done a lot of pick and roll, we need to do isolation or whatever, and how much of it is just, do you trust guys like LeBron to just go up the field to kind of mix it up?
Well, I've always empowered my point guards to, call the action, so to speak. Going all the way back to when I was coaching in Indiana, I just think it's, it just empowers your player leadership in that regard. And I'll have the ability to get our guys in certain actions when I see fit. And but the main thing is to play with pace. Play with offensive pace. And if you're playing with pace, and you're racing the ball up the floor, and you're in attack mode, you're going to find the ball's going to find certain actions randomly. And that's something that we encourage with our system here.
George Richard.
Hey, Coach, you guys have an elite coaching staff, with you, Phil Andy, Jason Kidd, Mike P. Can you just talk about the job you guys have done, with very limited practices, this season?
Well, thank you. And my coaching staff really does do a great job. They first of all they show up with an impressive resume. When you mentioned the guys you talked about with Lionel Hollins, Jay Kidd, with the head coaching experience and obviously the playing experience as well. Lionel back in the day, and Jay Kidd more recently, being a Hall of Fame player. Phil Handy's body of work with his days in Cleveland, here with the Lakers, Toronto. He's worked with some of the best players in the league, and brings a lot to the table. And obviously Mike P's got a great reputation around the league. For being a shooting coach, but really being a basketball coach. And I think that's what he's brought to the table here, is not just bringing that shooting dynamic, but really looking at both sides of the ball, the prep work. Miles Simon and Q Crawford also, with less experience, but do a great job with the prep work, with the individual, work that we do with our guys pre-post practice. You know, all these guys are contributing and continuing to move the needle without a lot of formal practice time. I do divvy up my film sessions, you know, so that all of their voices are heard, and I want to take advantage of their experience. And, you know, those guys, my assistant coaches, have done a great job both last year and this year.
Last question, Eric Williams.
Hey, Coach. How has the way that Dennis can pressure up front set the table for the rest of your defense, and how does that spill over to other guys in the floor when he's playing like that?
Yeah, well, that's it's sort of an identity piece with us, right? We started with Avery last year, having somebody that's going to pick up full court. Alex would do it at times, KCP, and you know, it's something that Dennis does well, and it does it instinctually, and we've encouraged with him with this year's team. But when your defensive point guard is picking up full court, it sets the tone for the whole group. You know, first of all, it slows the other team's offense down. You know, in terms of not getting early initiations, but just the energy of it. You know, lets the four guys behind him. You know, that we're fighting on that possession, and